Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to my online trading journal. Remember, I'm doing this just to answer a simple question: can trading change my life? I'm very certain there's a lot of people that decided to or wants to give trading a go, and I'm one of them. And I just think the best way to understand, or the best way to find out, is by myself, for myself. So I decided to do this online journal in order to be able to share it with everybody else that is thinking of starting trading. I can tell you it's not easy. It's stressful. You have to split yourself in different directions. You have work, you have family commitments, you have lots of things. Now with trading, until you do become profitable, you have to basically put the hard work in, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. Now trading is it's challenging. It's extra mega challenging. When I originally started trading in February, I thought, I'm gonna be a millionaire in 3 months, and I had all of these strategies, and I thought, man, this is gonna be so easy, but far from the truth. So yeah, that's the bottom line is that's why I decided to do this, in order to share with people how trading is not as easy. Is not as easy as those wealthy, already successful traders make it look like. And there's a reason why they had been putting the hard work in as well, like 3, 4, 5, 7 years, until they have become profitable. But there's obviously always other ways of them becoming wealthy with their online presence. And I don't think of myself as that. I don't think I'm going to be an influencer or sort. I just want to basically document my journey, and see where we're going to get to, and find out the answer to the question: can trading change my life? And if that's true, then it's all documented. We can all look at it and learn from it. The best thing about it, I'm so green. I know so little about trading. It's just mind blowing. And having the opportunity now to actually record this online and show it to everybody else, I think is important. And I would have loved for someone to actually have done that. Record themselves, not teaching as such, but just putting their learning processes and the mistakes and the analysis and what was wrong, what was good, and all of that stuff. And yeah, that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it obviously for myself, and then for anybody else that does decide to do trading. And enough talking. I just want to get into this. This is our midweek update. I said hour. It's really mine, for me, for future Ricky. When I'm gonna look back at these videos and go like, oh boy, was I wrong? Oh boy, look, that was a good trade. Anyway, I like that very much. I'm excited for the future, see what's gonna change, what's gonna change for me trading. I believe I come so far from February to June now. This is 2026. I'm really excited for the future. I'm kind of at a point where maybe I know a little bit too much, and the more you know, the worse it gets. I'm trying to kind of tidy up my thinking and my brain, just so I can focus on what really matters. But yeah, we'll just go through we'll just go through to my possible entries and see where they're at. I know I have checked the market on my phone. Nothing has really cooked in. There's a couple that are still cooking, and they may give us an entry signal, but let's just have a look and see where we're at, and we'll probably finish a lot sooner. This video is just an update, really. I don't think it's going to be as long as the other ones. So right now we're looking at USDJPY. This is daily looking. We can see, I shouldn't say it's me. I can definitely see that we're rejecting this area of interest, but do I think it's going to push above the area of interest? Honestly, I do not know. This is daily looking, so if you look at these two candles, this hasn't obviously closed. We have another 12 hours, almost 13 hours for this one to close, and it has come down before, but we'll just keep an eye on it. However, we're going to 4 hourly, and we would be looking for an entry signal if it was. Now, ideally for me would be to see an engulfing. Man, and I can see this doji there and then engulfing. This almost screams to me that, hey, we're changing direction, right? Now this candle closes in 51 minutes. Now if this candle closes as it is, it wouldn't matter, because the one before this is the one that would have mattered to me. But even the one before is actually, I can see, is engulfing. So yeah, that's a tough one. I'm almost tempted to enter, but to my strategy, to my age, what I am waiting for is actually a break and a retest. So I would be waiting for this to come down to the EMA, reject it, come back up here, reject this area again, and then that would be my trade, and I would put a short right there, approximately. Now, obviously, we're not going to go to 1 to 2.84 risk to reward, but the bigger the reward ratio, the higher the chance that I will be making my 1 to 1 or 1 to 0.5. You see, right there. Now, I talked about this before. The reason I'm going to such a low risk to reward ratio is just to make sure that I have, I'm creating, what should I say, like an edge, and I do not risk as much, as much money. I know markets breed and markets go, in order to move up, it would always do high highs and high lows, or low lows and low highs. But I do think for where I am now, I'm more comfortable just having such a small risk to reward. Then probably future Ricky is going to say, what was wrong with you? You cut your profit short on all these trades. And possibly if I do take this trade, I would be like, oh, I could have actually made X amount and I exited it 1 to 1 or whatever it is. Now, I don't always exit at 1 to 0.5 or 1 to 1. The thing is, if everything does line up from market structure point of view, I will keep it. I'll keep holding. I do not normally put a stop like a take profit, but we'll just I'm more comfortable keeping an eye on it and exiting as soon as I make that first 0.5 reward ratio. Anyway, so just back to this one quickly. I'm gonna put a trade on this. I'm gonna put a trade on the demo account. Now I have a $5 million demo account. Yeah, I know, Ricky, crazy Ricky, $5 million. But I'm going to do another demo account. I'm gonna start a $3,000 demo account, and I'm gonna put it on that, so it's like a clean start. And we'll see where that goes and what it's gonna look like. I'm gonna place it just about now, and I will try and do an update on that. I'll record my screen and just do an update on the phone, see how that goes. But other than that, I do not see this going back up, and the best thing about it, weekly is bearish. So if we're going to weekly, we can see weekly here. This last leg is bearish, so we have created like almost like a reversal, I would say. Now this whole market, you can see this trend line that I've put here. It has always created this kind of arches, and it rejected this line that I've just put here myself, this trend line. And it is very possible that we are rejecting that weekly and daily area of interest and coming back down before we would continue on a bullish trend. The funny thing is, on a weekly, we've never really been above this area of interest, and this last time here was in July 2024. So I wouldn't think that today, Ricky wouldn't think that this is gonna go higher than that, but markets can always do what markets do. If I zoom out a little bit more, I can actually see how this has been almost ranging since 2022 after COVID. So yeah, I don't know, it's possible that it's going to go a little bit higher, maybe, but we'll just keep an eye on it. And remember, we just need small trades and clear analysis. So let's go. We'll wait for this. I'll put this trade. Actually, I should quickly do it now before it's too late. So MetaTrader 5, settings, new account, new. Okay. Oh, and new. Quotes, demo account. We want $3,000. Okay, accept, register. start. Okay, so we are now, okay, so this is a $3,000 account. Let's go to quotes. This is USDJPY, USD, Forex, oops, USDJPY. All right, trade, new trade, USDJPY, baby pips, where are we? So yeah, I am actually using baby pips to get the lot size. Let me just get this back where it needs to be so I can see it. This is 4 hourly. I usually hit that A button to put it back in perspective. Now these lines here, they're just session lines. We can see them just previous day session lines. So kind of, you can see how it's gone, but I don't use them much at all. What I've actually used is this little thing here, this tool, which is fixed range volume. I done that with this, and I can see that we obviously on a 4 hour we're having a reaction right where the most volume yesterday's was, which kind of almost indicates that it's gonna reject this area and go back up, but we'll see. I'm gonna put a trade on this I'm gonna enter to market. I know it's not cool. I'm gonna enter to market for 50 units, and we are selling. Oh, sorry, it says not enough money. Okay, so we're just gonna go 10 units. Maybe that's also too much. Oh, okay, even 10 units is too much. Okay, so let's go 2. Sell by market. Okay, that went. Okay, and we minus $1. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. We'll have something to talk about next week. It is possible that it's going to reject. Everybody's talking about this tool, so I was a little bit curious. Fixed range volume profile, especially when you have like a trend, because looking at this here, this has been in a trend ever since this big push a couple of weeks ago. It's been in a bullish kind of trend, and if you take this tool and you put it anywhere like on any previous day, you can see the most volume, and you will see a reaction from there, but clearly it's not really good there, as in it hasn't got a good reaction. Let's see this one. If I go from here to here, at the area of interest is all the way down here, and we can actually see this almost rejecting it. Anyway, I like to explore and understand, but these lines are annoying me, and I might be getting rid of them. But yeah, we'll see how this one does go. It's been ranging from here for quite a while, so it's possible that it's going to come down, maybe. I don't know. I think it is going to, but this entry signal wasn't as clean as I would like it. Now for my perfect trade would be to break and retest, just like I said, and give me another engulfing. And 9 out of 10 I've seen that happen, but more recently it hasn't done that, so it's probably may not do it. Next one is NZD USD. Now this one, I know we've already missed it. I was supposed to enter this, and I did miss it. And you can see this tool here, what is it called again? I forget. The fixed range volume profile. I can see that is rejecting this, so it's continuing on a bearish from here. Now this was, to me, a beautiful signal, but you can see how it hasn't quite retested to give me the entry. Now I was hoping on Monday, or actually Monday night, when I did this, I was hoping that this is going to come back and retest this area of interest before going down, but it didn't. So unfortunately, there's no entry signal for me. Yeah, this right now is the middle of 4 hourly. It's at the EMA, in the middle of daily, and in the middle of weekly. So price can do anything, and I usually say not the price, but the market is doing gibberish. So gibberish to me is something that goes up and down on very short strokes. So basically sideways movement, I call it gibberish. So that's what this is, gibberish to me. So I would not be doing anything until we reach either the bottom or back to top to consider a trade. AUDCAD. Now this thing here, you can also see I use this, let me read it again, fixed range volume profile. fixed range volume profile to see what it looks like the day before, and that was kind of indicating that we're gonna have a reaction at about this level on the next day's trading candles. But let's see what we look like now. Yesterday for right now. Okay. Oh, and that's exactly what it seems to be doing. I'll close this. Get rid of this. No. Where are you? Okay, now. Yeah. So yeah, this looks interesting. Oh, let me just get this out of here. Yeah, so it is rejecting. It is definitely rejecting this, and we can see that it has been obviously trending bullish. We had new higher highs and higher lows, and higher highs and higher lows, and so on. Higher highs and higher lows. It's definitely a bullish trending market, and even those two trend lines that I put there. Let me get rid of those lines or make them a little bit less obvious. Settings, okay. Session breaks. Okay, here, okay, look at that. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, there you go. Excellent. Now it's not so annoying. So it is definitely trending bullish. Now, we'll see. It's kind of rejecting this area of interest, and from my kind of understanding, you know, when it's trending, you would be waiting for the price to reach, you know, a better position, like a discount position, and that's what's done. But would be good if this was to come a little bit lower, like closer to that EMA would have been absolutely amazing. If that wick was to touch this EMA, it would have made me feel a lot more comfortable in actually believing that this is going to trend. Now there's one more hurdle for me to in order to be able to believe that this is going to be a continuation on a bullish move, would be that we break this previous high. And right now we aren't breaking it, but the thing is too, we have reached this high point, and now we kind of going back down. We're having a pullback, and it hasn't really had like an engulfing, but then you have the doji, and then you have a bullish not engulfing, and then you have an engulfing bearish. Very dirty. I don't really like it, but I love the fact that it's at the top of weekly. Top of weekly is really, really nice. And if I go to daily, daily is rejecting this area of interest. So man, I don't know. I have no idea. I do think it's plausible that we're trending still. And to be perfectly honest, I would think that we're gonna go down. I would think we're gonna come down first. But I don't think we're gonna go down that low. See, I would say it's just gonna be another short stroke, just like these three candles here. So I think it's gonna come down to about here, which is like not ideal, and then it's gonna come up. Now the thing is, this red line. Let me just quickly see what that red line is. So that red line, I've put it there because that's the highest the market has been. Oh, never mind. The highest has been in a while, obviously, since 2021. I mean, I wouldn't want to go any further back than that, but you can kind of see the market is, yeah, I don't know. It is definitely not easy to say whether this is bullish or bearish. However, the last couple of years, at least since, mind you, since April 2005, so just over a year, it's been bullish. If it can break this red line, I would be pretty happy to believe that it's going to have a continuation. It's going to go up, but we'll just wait and see. There's no rush. Just go back to the 4-hourly to see what's happening here. Basically, I'm going to wait for this to reject this properly. Ideally would be for one of these candles to actually close in the area of interest. Let me actually just look at this area of interest quickly, so I can confirm that the area of interest is good. Okay, so we have 1, 2. I don't like this. The thing with the area of interest, in order for me to truly believe that is a valid area of interest, I'm always looking for a descent a decent kind of turn, just like you have this here, a proper reaction for the market. I mean, when you see this kind of squiggle here, this, it's almost one leg with a slight step in it. It's not a peak like this. So it needs to be a peak. So this area of interest is shocking. I absolutely hate it. It's not nice at all. But yeah, and that's daily. What's weekly? Weekly is nothing. Weekly is absolutely nothing. We have nothing on weekly, but I'm so close. Okay, let me just zoom out a bit. Yeah, there's nothing on weekly. We cannot even put an area of interest. Okay, let's go back to daily. Let's go back to daily. And the other thing too, what I have been learning about this area of interest. See, there's another area of interest down here, and this is valid. 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. This is valid. However, is outside this current leg. So when it's outside the current leg, it's pointless. I mean, the price would react if it was at it, but the thing that does matter actually, if I go to the 4 hourly and that area of interest falls within, let's say weekly, for example, which actually it does, then it is possible that I would keep it there, because that would be part of the an active leg. And for me, having an active leg means, as far as I obviously know to date, it means that the price can have a reaction to that area of interest. And that's what matters to me, because if I'm looking to put a trade, that's where market is expected to have a reaction. And obviously it can have a violent reaction, or it can have just a small pullback and a continuation, but that's to be seen at the time, and acted on accordingly. But for me, obviously, I'm such a novice, I wouldn't know. So I would never really trade past that area of interest. I would just make sure that I can get my possibly 1 to 2, ideally 1 to 3, and just take my profit at 1 to 1 or 1 to 0.5, and I'm happy. I'll be very, very happy with that. But anyway, yeah, I can't really put a good area of interest on this one, unfortunately. But we clearly had reactions in the past from this. It's just such a dirty, and I don't like it. But look, we'll just keep an eye on it. I'm not gonna do anything. If I'm not confident with it, it's just gonna be there, waiting for next move to show us what's gonna do. All right, enough about AUDCAD. Let's look at the last one and see what I was saying is gonna happen and what is happening. Now this one here is the one that we missed, isn't it? So NZD cut. Is that it? Is the answer there? Oh, okay. So NZD USD and NZD CAD done pretty much the same thing. So yeah, sadly gone. Oh well. Anyway, basically we missed this from the very beginning. What I mean by missed, you can see there was no entry signal. There's literally nothing. I mean, I'm looking at this right now, to the knowledge that I have, that means nothing. I cannot see an engulfing. I cannot see, any signal to kind of go down. I can see that bearish hammerhead next to that blue one. Is not a doji. It's just a very small bullish candle, which is short, which kind of tells me there was a lot of friction in between the buyers and the sellers, like a tag of war. And then I can see that the hammer had a really, really, really powerful start, but the better thing about it is that the buyers were not able to break above the starting point, so we do not have a wick at the top. So to me, maybe this is part of the new information, things that I'm going to see and learn in the future. Maybe I should look into candle patterns and stuff. But yeah, that's the only thing that would have indicated to me that we're actually having a reversal. Now, just while I'm here, I can actually see this quickly. We had this beautiful breaking and retesting of this area of interest, and then that was a very clean trade, very, very clean trade. And then you're kind of having this little hammer a bearish candlestick, and nothing happened. Kind of why is telling me here, maybe because we didn't have, after the hammer, we didn't have an engulfing, not like an engulfing bearish candle to indicate a reversal. Maybe that's what it is. I'm gonna look into it and learn more about it. But this again had no entry signal at this level, no entry here at this level, no entry signal at this level. It literally just broke, and from this point when it started coming up, it had lots of engulfing, but kind of in random levels. And to me, when it's random, especially when it kind of gets close to like the middle of a market structure, I am hesitant. And when I'm hesitant, I just don't trade. Now, if I'm looking at this now, obviously it's at the bottom, but back then this was not here. So you would have had a much tighter, I think. Actually, we can see. We had a much tighter market structure, I believe. Yeah, look at this. But on another note, weekly was pretty cool. Weekly was right there, but we were in the middle. So yeah, to me, I do not trade in the middle, and they might be wrong. And maybe the future Ricky is gonna be like, oh my god, look how much money you have let go away from you. I shouldn't say money, but how many trades you missed. Now, when I'm looking at this, I can see a beautiful engulfing one here after what it looks to be like a break and retest. Now, of course, for our areas of interest doesn't really matter. There will be many of them. But if there was a valid area of interest here on a 4 hourly, it's having a small reaction from it, which kind of says to me that, oh, there you go. So 1, 2, 3 straight away. So we breaking and retesting again. So it's like a double retest, which what it really is a double top, but is in the middle, a double top in the middle. So we could have potentially put a trade there. Let me just put these candles back on and see what it would have looked like. So my trade would have been right there. I would have placed the trade right there at the top of that area of interest, and my take profit would be at 0.5. You will see me in the future, most of my trades would be at 0.5, 1 to 0.5. And this trade right here, if I was to enter after the engulfing at this 4 hour area of interest, bloody hell, which we are backed by this, let me remember, fixed range volume profile. We're clearly seeing rejection, and it's rejecting at that level. But that should have actually been an entry signal, and that candle happened today. And it's a little bit annoying. I literally missed it 4 hours ago. Yeah, long day today. I've been busy with my construction work, but it is what it is. The other thing I really hate is when in New Zealand, the trading hours, like right now, London session is on, but this would have happened in, just give me a second, I'm quickly looking at I have this. You probably know what this is. It's just a clock that shows me the market. So right now we are in London and Frankfurt, and Tokyo is closing. It's coming to a close in the next half hour or so. But when that candle happened, the full engulfing was in Tokyo time, Tokyo and Sydney. So yeah, I don't know, but this is notes. I should actually put notes here so I can kind of learn from them in the future. But yeah, these two happen in the Sydney and Tokyo session. But I'm thinking that I should be trading from when London opens, so basically from 7 o'clock, so an hour and a half ago. So from 7 o'clock I would be trading all the way to probably halfway through New York, 5 a.m. but not necessarily stay out, but that's what my mind is thinking. I should be entering when London comes on and things like this happen. I didn't check it, and I didn't take this trade, but we'll see how far it's gonna go. Let me just put a note here for H AI. That's for our area of interest. That's what I just like I shorted out like that, make it easier for me. And that was our possible entries, but there were a couple others in the watch list. We had AUDJPY. AUDJPY. Yeah, this one here, I was expecting that we're gonna reject this area of interest. Let me just go to daily and double check that area of interest, because this is looking pretty good. I must say it's looking pretty good for a continuation, but it must reject this area of interest, but we'll see what it does. Let me just put this off quickly. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3 touches. Okay, 1, 2, 3 touches. And we are at the bottom of daily. Now what I can actually say, this could actually go there. Do you agree? Because what that means now, that means we are potentially putting in a different trade altogether. We are weekly bullish, daily bullish for our bullish. But then when you're looking at the candle color, all of the candle color currently is red. All of them are red. And also at a lower time frame, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, everything is bearish. So it will be interesting. It will be interesting to watch this one. But let me just check this area of interest, see how big it is, because it seems a little bit big. Oh, it's actually perfect, 23. Ideal area of interest is 27 pip, and we are at 23, so that's actually good. Let's see how that changed for us now, what we look like having done this. All right, daily, 4 hourly. Okay. Okay. So, okay. So what I see here is that we're not going to do this. But maybe I should just leave this here for the time being, because we're gonna do another update for me to be able to see it in the future and say, look how wrong you were, or roughly about there. What I think is gonna happen here, I think we're going to go down. If you see, we're at the top of weekly, bottom of daily. So daily could be actually having a continuation. So daily. So if you look at this, every time we've been at the top of this area of interest, we had a big push to the bottom, and a big push to the bottom is clear to me. Now, funnily enough, I have got, why I'm not surprised, because Ricky likes his indicators. Let me just put these off, because I'm not paying enough money to have them all on, and I put the wrong one off. Okay, we're putting this one off. What? Not that one. Lower time frame, this one. And we want to weekly mapper, running lower time, this one. Oh no, what's wrong with me? I'm definitely tired. Okay, so we'll hide this one, I think it is. Okay, so why I like this, I'll show you what this does. So this is what I do. I put the candles off and I'm having a look. Now, daily, actually I need to activate this quickly. I can put it off again. Doesn't actually make it any clearer. EMA off. So what we see now is the daily, which is blue, and then we see the red, which is weekly. So the reason I did this is to kind of look at it and understand, is the market doing anything else? Is daily in a different place than weekly? Now, obviously, the price will be for both of them in the same place. But sometimes I can actually see, daily in a place that, in a leg that makes more sense, that we're gonna see a bearish move than a bullish move, and so vice versa. I mean, if you're seeing this going up, you're seeing the daily pullbacks, and this leg will be about here. So it kind of sometimes to me makes sense, but anyway, too much. I don't always use it. weekly map, high time frame, this one. All right, EMA, I like the EMA is pretty good to me. And lower time frame on, candles back on. All right, so yeah, that wasn't really useful for this market, but I do believe we're going to see a reversal right now, and this is most certainly just gonna find its way to here, have a small reaction, and then possibly another reaction from below, and then make its way down here to probably go back up. Now I'm looking at this, and yeah, I would say that I missed it. Now the other thing that I've done, and I've made sure of me doing, is to only enter a trade at the area of interest. Now I can get rid of this because I know it's probably wrong, and this, which we do not need, this is the fixed range volume profile. Fixed range volume profile, that's the previous day, and that's the highest number of orders, and we're supposed to see a reaction of it. So if that black line was a little bit longer, these two engulfing should have kind of rejected it, but it's obviously below it. But on the hindsight, this is on the wrong day already, so I should really mark this day, see what it looks like. Are we rejecting? Okay. Yeah. I do not know how to read that. We're not really rejecting it if you're asking me. But it is below that, so maybe that's how I read it, when it's below it. If you know, let me know in the comments. I'm still new to this. It's not a clean reaction. I would have expected it, honestly speaking, if this was truly reacting off it in a you see, this is bullish. This is a bullish push. And the day closed, then we're using the indicator, the fixed range volume profile, and that black line that I've put here is it. I would have expected for the market to come down to whatever, ideally go down to here, and then pull back, create a wick, all the way to having the body close at this line or close to it, but not below. To me, it should not be below. If it's below, means it didn't really hold. But if it hits that level and it's not going below it, it would kind of indicating to me that it would go up on a continuation, but it didn't do that. So I don't know, this may be just getting my head too busy with shit that I should know. But for now, what I think is doing, this is obviously too much squiggle, based on all of the knowledge that I have acquired to date, I would believe that we're going to see this come down. What are you? Where can I see it? Okay, so this is gonna basically go down. So this is gonna come down. Now I would probably put a trade for this as well on that $3,000 account, on the obviously demo account, and just see what it does. However, it is late. It is late for me to put this trade, but I'm gonna put it no matter what. It's demo account. I'm bad with demo accounts. When I mean bad, I mean I don't really care if it goes wrong or not. Now I'm entering when this candle hasn't even closed. Maybe I should wait 17 minutes. I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for that candle to close and see what is gonna close before I put it in. So 17 minutes. Let me. What's the time now? So 8:42. Basically at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. Okay, I should remember. Okay, 9 o'clock. Okay, basically when Tokyo closes New Zealand time, I'll be able to enter this one. So we'll do that. And then we can obviously break it down, see what it did and what it didn't. But unfortunately, if I was smart enough to watch the market and that closed engulfing at 4 hours ago, what was that? At 4 o'clock, and I would have entered, I could have potentially made 1 to 1.73. But remember, I'm taking my trades to 1.05, so that would have definitely been my trade. And you'll see that the more I go into this, I'll adjust this. But I don't know. I don't know what's best, but for now, what I'm focusing on is a setup that is has a great risk to reward, but actually take the take profit at that 0.5. And yeah, there is a reason for it. I just want to feel, let's say, in control a little bit more. I don't want to have to hold for too long. I mean, I have trades that I'm holding for too long on the demo account, and they they're just moving too much, like gibberish, going up and down, up and down. I just think the market that we're in now, it can do anything that it wants to do. Not following the trend as much is what I'm trying to say, and that's my feel. Right? Let's say feel. That's how. That's I'm developing a seventh sense, right? And this is trading, and that seventh sense is saying to me, "Hey, this is what it's gonna do." But we'll see. We'll see. I have so much more to learn. I have so much more to learn and get so much better. Anyway, so that's what we're gonna do with this one. GBP CAD. Now this is at the right place, and this is weekly is bearish, daily is bearish, 4 hours is bullish. Now what that tells me, based on what I have learned so far, is telling me that we are actually, if I was to take a trade now, it would be a sell, but it would be a trend trade. So what I learn is that if I'm putting a trade in line with the trend, that is a good trade. So the chances of me succeeding there, as in having a positive outcome, is great. So it makes it even more powerful when both weekly and daily line up. If weekly and daily they both bearish, is amazing for the trade. But there's a key thing, if it's at the top or at the bottom of daily. Now right now we are literally, I couldn't ask for better. If you're looking at this from what I stand now, this is actually a perfect trade. I might actually enter this trade with real money. We are at the area of interest. We have, let me just go to daily, because daily is going to look a lot more different. All right, so this is actually very, very nice for me. We are at the area of interest at the very top of daily. We have been ranging before. All right, so what I mean by ranging, market goes up and down within two areas of interest, and we reach the top. We do not have an engulfing, but then we're coming back down to retest that area. Now when you do that, I know that is going to, it's almost like a confirmation that is going to go down. And if this trade was to actually go, remember, I'm going to aim for anything that is 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 risk to reward, but I'm still going to exit at 0.5. I know that's silly. I might be regretting that later, but what I want to say is, if this trade does go, it would give me at least that. And this actually has just reached the, it's a doji now on daily. Yeah, it's definitely a doji, but I can see it's pushing. It's pushing down, which is good. But anyway, we need to wait for that to close. So this setup is going to happen tonight. Going back to 4 hourly, this might be happening tonight. Okay, we need to keep an eye on this, because right now we having, this is almost like it's that hammer, you know, the yeah, I know it's two distinct names, so I do need to go look at them and understand that a little bit better, because I can definitely see it closed as a hammer head, but it's a bearish hammer hand, but the wick is at the top. Now what does that tell me? That tells me that, you know, the sellers are in control, but also that the buyers were really powerful too. Anyway, it didn't, obviously the sellers didn't have enough push, enough, you know, momentum to actually go and change direction then, and he's doing another test. But right now this is engulfing. So what I could say is, in the next 11 minutes, if this candle does closes engulfing, I could potentially look at putting a trade through, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I might just keep it safe and just go with the demo account just to learn from it, because it is a little bit dirty. You know, it had two reactions here, which means this didn't hold. Now we're pushing at it. We're going at it again. But I would say that the biggest difference is that we have kind of wicked out a bunch of orders that were placed, but it's hard to know how many or how much, or whether that's even what happened, right? Yeah, but we'll keep an eye on this. I really like this, so I'm gonna actually move these to possible entries, and yeah, I need to look at it in the next 11 minutes. And the last one is AUDUSD. AUDUSD is literally just in the middle of weekly. It just come down below that. This just proves that the engulfing candle, which is bearish or bullish, it has so much more power on today's market than anything else, because I can see every time I see an engulfing, almost randomly, it will still have a push. It will still have a push. Every engulfing that I see this one here had a push. 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 This one had a push, but there was no engulfing. So I'm still trying to understand. I mean, like, there's nothing to understand. The market will do whatever it wants to do. But this one here, engulfing, had a push. This is not really engulfing. This is engulfing, had the push. Oops. This is engulfing and had a push, which is happening right now. So this will be interesting. Actually, what I'm gonna do, I'll just mark this here. See how much further that would go if I would actually hit my 0.5. And actually what I'm gonna do as well, let me get rid of that. I'm gonna do that for all of them. Just to see if to see whether I would have actually hit that 0.5. 1.4, 0.5, bam. So right now that's there. NZD USD, we'll shift this quickly down. This is 30 pip, which is, I'm happy with that. There's nothing really to put this off right now. I mean, these two candles look to be the same length roughly, which almost indicates that's a continuation. But unfortunately, I do not trade when we are in the middle. I just do not trade. But we'll see. We'll see how much that moves. AUDCAD. This is, I can't actually mark this one, sorry. Because this one is probably going to reject this and go up. But I'll just do this. 59. Wow, this is such a small pip. Can't really do that. 25. Let's go 25, just in case it goes below this point here. So the 4 hour high low is about here. Now I could go roughly about there, but the thing is, right now the market is still obviously in a bearish move, so it will be stupid. But I'm aiming to be about here once this has reversed. So if it doesn't go below 4 hour high low, or it does go below with the wick and then comes back up, but does not form a new low, then we could potentially see this in a continuation trend, as in keep pushing up to get us above this line, which is really what I'm waiting for. This needs to come back down, retest, and then go up to this red line. So that would be, if it does it, it would be a decent trade. You know, 1 to 5, holy moly, that's pretty good considering. All right, NZD-CAD, this is already marked. What? There's no marked, hold on. Because we want to go past this now, because it's already there. And this is 50, 30. Now, when I do this, it's just stupid anyway. It's just for fun, really. To see if we had the push, but there's no actual place to put this to be safe. I mean, ideally would be put it here at 4 hour high. The market can do anything, but we're not going to do that. What I normally tend to do if I enter a dodgy trade like that, just go 30 pips. But yeah, I'm not entering this trade, I'm just marking this trade. I'm marking it so I can see for myself whether it had the push, but it has no purpose really. AUDJPY, let me put this here as well. Same thing here. I'll just leave this as it is. GBP CAD. Okay, that's the one that I want to enter. I believe that's the one we said. Yes, it is. This is actually not too bad. This is pretty good. So this is 69 pips. That's pretty bad for the stop loss, but hey, better safe. All right, so that's the one possible entry. Let me just see if I've marked it. Possible entry. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. All right, so that's it. That's it for tonight. This is a much shorter update than yesterday, but it still took me 50 minutes. I'm expecting that the future Ricky is going to become a lot more efficient. The bottom line is, I think with trading, I need to take my time. I need to pay attention. I need to revisit areas of interest and kind of, make sure that they are placed in the right place. I know it's important which every one of them is. And I know I need to always check that the market is bullish or is bearish. Now I have created this indicator which kind of marks it for me, so it made me lazy, but I've tested it enough to know that it is pretty legit and it does work. And having the option to actually see them all on a lower time frame, it could be good or could be bad, because right now we are at the top of weekly and the top of daily. So without having these in here, so actually I can put them off. So I can show weekly structure on 4 hourly, show daily structure. I put them off, okay? So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like without them. So when you kind of going in between them, you're gonna see weekly. Okay, so this is weekly. We can see this leg. You can see it. This is the weekly low, and this is the weekly high, this leg. So we haven't, since March 9, we haven't broken above or below. So that means we are still bearish, like right now we've reached the top of weekly and we haven't broken above it to create a new high and a new high low to change the trend of this last active leg to bullish. So this kind of screaming at me that, hey, it's going to keep ranging, it's going to keep doing its sideways move, the gibberish move. However, this is the good kind of gibberish. This is not the bad kind of gibberish. The bad kind of gibberish for me is this here, when you have all of these wicks but nothing really moving, which is, consolidating, right? You want to be able to trade at that level, and I want to, but it's so messy and it's so untidy that I know probably 9 out of 10 I will screw it up. And yeah, it's better for me not to risk it while I'm still learning and getting better, but eventually, yeah, I'll be there. So yeah, with this indicator, you can see weekly, you can see daily, and then you're going to 4 hourly and you can see 4 hourly, but it's just, it's the missing piece. Now, when I normally mark them without having this indicator, I will have lines, so I'll be going here and I would put my own lines or put a box. I used to put boxes actually around this leg like this. So I would just mark this, that this is, what is this? This is weekly bearish. I'll just see right here, weekly bearish. I'll do that, and obviously this will not have any color in it. It would be just fully see-through. The line will be a little bit thicker, and it's red if it's bearish and it's blue if it's bullish. I'll go here and I'll do exactly the same thing with daily, and I'll just write here daily bear, and then I would go to 4 hourly and I'll do the same thing. I'll literally put a box there, but for this instance this box is actually blue because it's bearish, bullish. For H bull, bullish. Okay, cool. So this is what I would have, you see, and I would bring them like this. I'll bring them like this just so I can just so I can kind of understand where is everything at. And it really matters to me. It really matters to me to know where it is. So that's how I thought to myself, it's got to be a better way. It's got to be a better way. And that's how I actually got the little indicator made. And I've added this two things to show me. Now they show me, so I can just forget about all of this nonsense. And every time the market changed, I had to obviously move them as well. Now there's a positive and there's a negative to it moving. When a candle closes, if it closed above or if it closed below, I should say, if it closed above and you create a new high or a new low, it would automatically change, which means I would be missing on a break and retest of a previous leg, which is something I'm aware of. It doesn't leave a trace, like a temporary trace for me to see. So I have to sometimes just go back and look, okay, what was the previous candle? Because what I would normally do if I had, let's say, just for the sake of it, oh, go away. Let's say okay, let's just say that this, I know I'm taking again a bit long, but future Ricky is going to appreciate all of this information that I'm putting about myself there. So let's say this has, or this was at the time, this was the, actually I can probably replay as well, start new. Oh, okay, so if I'm here, you will see that that's gonna be my 4 hourly. That's gonna be my 4 hourly. Well, that candle hasn't quite closed yet. Let's play. Okay, so now this box is there so I can see it, but the minute this candle closes, the market structure marker is also going to close, which means is if this has come down for me to be able to put a trade on let's say on a break and retest, I would be missing on, because I would be basically waiting for this. It broke the box and then it's coming back down to retest this and then going up, right? And this does work. I have done this quite a few times training. So if I'm looking at this now, you will see that the box stays, but see the market change. So when I look at it, if it has already closed, I wouldn't see it unless I click and I look at it. Say, okay, so that broke and now it's retesting. So, you know, if it has retested, it's also retesting and rejecting the EMA. So it is a clean trade if you think about it, but the box wouldn't be there. So I kind of need to be extra cautious with that. And let's see what the next candle does. Say it rejected, now it's continuing. So basically, I would have been able, do you see how already changed that for hourly? I would have been able, even based on that little thinking there, I would have been able to put a trade that would have given me that 1-to-1 right here, in line with my 4 hour leg that was just there, and just go after the breaking, after the retesting, just go down to there, put a trade, and yeah, that would have been a 1. That would have been a positive outcome. But yeah, that's just something that I need to be a little bit careful with. Yes, it's easier, but it makes me miss things when it's automatically happening. So you have to always be a little bit cautious. So sometimes you will see me put boxes there just to have them before, when I do the analysis, like on Mondays or on Sundays, I'll mark them up and then I can see if it was a break and a retest. I can see that happening here as well. This was the previous leg. If I get that box again, we can see the market was here and it broke this leg. It broke it and then came back down to retest it, and then it had a push. Now this would have been a trade for me right there, the minute that we have rejected this box. Now truly for me would be that this has retested it down lower, not just at the box, but even at the box rejection, I'm still getting my trade. 1, to 0.5. Now in this case, it would have been, of course, amazing because it would have been 1 to 2.65. So it would have been a beautiful trade. But anyway, I still have to learn about that. But we'll see. We'll see what it does. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's exit this, leave. So yeah, Ricky, I hope you're going to appreciate the video you made for yourself. And in, you know, say 3 months, I'm going to be twice as good as I am now. Or I should say 5 months. Oh, sorry, February, March, April, May. So it's 4 months. So let's say in 4 months, I'll know double to what I know now. And I'm going to make the next video I'm going to make is going to break down everything that I've learned in these 4 first months. Just to kind of highlight a little bit what's gone through since I've learned about trading. I've learned as in I found out about it, and what is actually happening with my learning and the process and everything that I've done. But for now, have a good evening, and I will be doing a closing, like an update for the week closing, and I'm going to go through the trades that I've placed, whether I enter with any live trades or not, and the outcome of it, and I'm going to also break them down. Now the purpose of breaking down the wins and the losses is just to make me realize mistakes, lessons, learnings, and things like that. But yeah, most importantly, stay safe and keep trading. Now, a week with no trades is still a win, right? So do not beat yourself if you haven't placed a trade. I haven't placed a trade in 3 weeks. I did actually place one trade and I lost $47, the real money. And I can probably break that down for this weekend, but it's you know, it's almost 2 weeks old now. Anyway, thank you very much, and just remember, my videos are not edited. It's literally how I record it. I post it straight on YouTube because it's my journal. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't really matter. I know it's a lot of talking, but in the future, when I decide to go back and check what I said, how wrong I was or how good I was, or it gives me a sense of progression. And I think it's important for everybody that wants that's going to look at this video to understand what that does for you. And when you decide to start without progression, you will make such a small, you know, progress, right? Now for me, since February, pretty much every single day, every single day, Sunday and Saturday, nighttime, daytime, phone, at work, I've looked at it, I've studied, I've listened to books and all of that stuff. I'll get more into it anyway. And I've also watched influencers. I guess you guys probably have to. But it is important to understand, if I am spending so much time trying to understand this and, you know, learn about it, and I still learn the most basic version, the most basic version, basically simplified to maximum. And what still can't do is give me a trade per week. I was really hoping I can place one trade per week. Now those trades have happened. I've marked them, they've gone the way I wanted it, but I just couldn't find the entry signal, right? So yeah, that's my learning. That's my learning right there. Why am I missing it? Why am I missing it? And what am I doing wrong? Why can't I, you know, see it a little bit better? Like right now, look at it. This is, after the engulfing, we have a pullback. You know, we have a pullback, a bullish pullback. So we'll see if that's just a wick or if that's gonna carry on. But every time after an engulfing, you will see the wicks will go up and then go down. But anyway, enough for tonight. Have a great evening and see you towards the end of the week.